news really coming out of your book about the Diffuse Project, which is a project where Peter Daszak literally wrote a blueprint for how to develop the coronavirus virus that could have been used to develop exactly what they made, and talk about what happened there.
So the coronaviruses in this family don't have a special access to the human cell. That special access is called a furin cleavage site. And so this had never been seen in this family of viruses. So in 2018...
And the furin cleavage site, just so they know, it's at the end of that spike protein. It's almost like a key that fits perfectly into the lock of the ACE2 receptor, which is a cell receptor in the human lung. So all your cells in your lung have this receptor, and if the coronavirus gets in there, it attaches perfectly to it, and that's what causes infectivity in humans. And there was no wild coronavirus in history that was ever able to do that.
Right. So in 2018, the lab in Wuhan, in conjunction with Peter Daszak, in conjunction with Ralph Baric at the University of North Carolina, submit a proposal. And their proposal is to take a coronavirus and add this cleavage site, the furin cleavage site, which is going to make it more infectious in humans. Well, even our government, which seems to fund everything, said that was a crazy idea at DARPA, and they said, we're not going to fund it. The reason that's important is you roll around 2 years, and then we see the sequence of COVID-19 in January 2020, and everybody involved with the Diffuse Project should have been going, aha, I can't believe the sequence looks just like what they wanted to propose in 2018, 2 years ago, and they should have immediately said, my God, they did it. This came from the lab. This is what they were proposing in that research grant. But you know what? Not one person came forward to say that. Nobody in government, well, one did. Major Joseph Murphy, a lieutenant colonel, a Marine,
hero,
told his superiors, as he's supposed to, his chain of command, then he told the inspector general, and he became a whistleblower. He revealed this research project. Anthony Fauci never said a word about it. Ralph Baric, who's part of it, never said anything about it. Peter Daszak never said anything about it. But what we discovered this week is that not only was DARPA looking at this, there was a presentation by Peter Daszak to 15 different agencies. That's a lot of people. That's a big forum. And all of those people should have been saying, and they've got to be connected to virology, that's why they would be in this meeting. Why didn't one of them pick up the phone in January of 2020 when they saw the sequence of the virus and say, oh my God, this is what they were asking for money for 2 years ago? So something's going on here, and we're still having a great deal of resistance, virtually absolute resistance from the administration to reveal these documents. And I keep saying them, this has nothing to do with Biden. This happened during the Trump administration or even the Obama. This is a long-standing bureaucratic problem, as much or more than it is any kind of one party or the other's problem. And yet I still get nothing. So I'd like to see the deliberation. They decided to fund some research in Wuhan that was gain of function, but there had to be some deliberation. Was it gain of function or not? Anthony Fauci wags his finger at me and says, I've never ever funded gain of function research in Wuhan. All my experts tell me this wasn't. And I said, well, let's see the argument, because we could learn from the argument, because you obviously made a mistake. It was gain of function and became a pandemic. So let's see the argumentation that was presented to the bureaucracy, why you made the decision to call this not gain of function, because it was. We can't get any of that. All of that's being withheld. I have a 250-page, and I've got it on my desk, 250-page document that was a briefing for Anthony Fauci on NIH's interaction with coronavirus. Every word is deleted. Every word has been erased from our view. Yeah, redacted. Every word.
There's been a lot of news really coming out of your book about
a whole
the
lot of
Diffuse
redacting
Project,
going on.
which is a project where Peter Daszak literally wrote a blueprint for how to develop the coronavirus virus that could have been used to develop exactly what they made, and talk about what happened there.
So the coronaviruses in this